Maybe we could get everybody to take a seat, please. We're ready to get started.
Hold on a second. This will be the worst thing I've ever done.
Oh yeah, I gotta turn that off.
That would be one
Very good.
storybook.
I'll be the one phoning you.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming for this exciting announcement. My name is Grant Hunter, and I'm Alberta's Parliamentary Secretary for Agri-Food Development. I'm also proud to be the MLA for the neighboring constituency of Tabor-Warner, just to the south. I'll be your MC today. Thank you to the Bow River Irrigation District for kindly hosting us today. I would also like to welcome Minister of Affordability and Utilities and MLA for Lethbridge East, Nathan Neudorf, to my left, the Mayor of the Town of Vauxhall, Kim Cawley, the Reeve of Vulcan County, Jason Schneider, and members of his council, the Reeve of the Municipal District of Tabor, Tamara Miyanaga, and members of her council, the Vice Chair of the Alberta Irrigation Districts Association, Richard Phillips, the Chair of the Bow River Irrigation Districts, and our host, Walter Unruh, and Irrigation District members in attendance. So I would like to introduce my colleague and a friend, Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation, R.J. Sigurdson, to share some good news with you today.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for hosting us here today in Vauxhall. My team and I appreciate your hospitality, and we're very pleased to be able to make this announcement right here in Alberta's irrigation heartland. Now, I'd like to also thank MLA Grant Hunter and our Parliamentary Secretary for Agri-Food Development, as well as my colleague Minister Neudorf as well, for being here together with me to make this exciting announcement. As Alberta faces a potentially dry growing season, we need to do more with the water that we have. As you know, water availability is essential for growing and raising the food that feeds the world and feeds our families right here at home. And that's why our government works closely with Alberta's irrigation districts to revitalize and rejuvenate their irrigation infrastructure. I'm proud to announce we're increasing funding for the Irrigation Rehabilitation Program, which irrigation districts and producers depend upon. In Budget 2024, we're providing $19 million for the Irrigation Rehabilitation Program, an increase of $5.5 million over last year. This is money well spent, as expanding and modernizing irrigation infrastructure will ensure that Alberta's irrigation districts can deliver water to producers efficiently and reliably, while improving productivity and competitiveness in our agriculture industry. Ultimately, improving irrigation infrastructure means we can irrigate more land with the same amount of water. And investing in these projects now will help counter dry conditions and increase the resiliency of our agricultural sector. Irrigation districts can use this funding for planning, engineering, and construction of infrastructure upgrades, like converting canals to pipelines to reduce water loss. In fact, in 2022, 9.2 kilometers of open canals were converted to pipeline as a part of the Irrigation Rehabilitation Program. Now, agriculture is a key economic driver of Alberta's economy, and improved irrigation helps farmers increase yields. It helps grow more diverse crops, it improves productivity, and allows farmers to reliably support our growing food processing sector and as well the growing food demand globally. We will continue to do everything we can to strengthen agriculture and irrigation here in Alberta and support an industry that is always facing adversity and conditions that change year over year. Now, Alberta's government is committed to supporting our farmers and ranchers so they can continue to compete here at home and globally and deliver the high quality foods that our province is well known for. I want to just say thank you to the hard work that our irrigation districts and our farmers and ranchers do every year to continue to feed our families. And I know that I've heard already that this is welcome news. We look to continue to find every way we can to support the hard work that you do every year. Thank you.
All right. Well, listen, I just want to do a little bit of an audible. When I introduced RJ as a good, when I introduced, RJ as a good friend, I wanted to make sure that Nathan didn't feel like I left him out. He's a good friend as well. So glad to have him here today. Well, this is great news. I'd like to now welcome Richard Phillips, the Vice Chair of the Alberta Irrigation Districts Association, to say a few words, please.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to speak on behalf of the Alberta Irrigation Districts Association today, which represents Alberta's 11 irrigation districts. Back in 1969, the Government of Alberta began a new program, now known as the Irrigation Rehabilitation Program, to provide cost-shared funding to irrigation districts to rehabilitate and upgrade infrastructure. Today, we see the results that program has delivered to our province, with over 45,000 full-time equivalent jobs and billions of dollars in annual economic activity dependent on our irrigation districts. A trip beyond our provincial boundaries shows a stark difference in the vibrancy of the agriculture-based economies where similar government investment has not occurred. Reliable water delivery infrastructure is the key. When farmers know they can depend on water when they need it, they're willing to make the investments required to produce the high-quality crops that attract food processing companies to our region. So why do we still need further infrastructure investments when we've been upgrading infrastructure for 55 years? The answer is simple. There's a lot of infrastructure, over 7,700 kilometers of canals and pipelines, and all infrastructure, whether it be for water delivery, roads, buildings, it wears out with use and eventually requires rehabilitation or replacement. In addition, the rehabilitation of our irrigation systems has greatly reduced water losses as canals are replaced with pipelines, and over 60% of our conveyance systems are now buried pipelines. This has been a primary factor in more than doubling the irrigated area since the early 1970s without increasing the amount of water we use, and continued rehabilitation will provide further water savings. As irrigation districts, we thank and applaud our provincial government for recognizing the value and importance of investing in irrigation district infrastructure. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Richard. Appreciate those words. I'd like to turn things over to our host, the Chair of the Bow River Irrigation District, Walter Unruh, to share a few words.
Thank you. This is a very special day for the Bow River Irrigation District. I know when I first heard about this, I was just jumping for joy because often we kind of get missed. We're a long, large district. We're about 160 kilometers from one end to the other. And we have something special here. And it's so great to have our government ministers here and MLAs, and for us this is a real highlight. I would have loved to have you longer and give you a barbecue steak supper, but that's the way it is. You know, life is busy, time is important. So we are honored to host this announcement of IRP funding by our Minister RJ Sigurdson and its increase. It's very important to us. IRP funding we receive from our provincial government has been crucial to the BRD to rehabilitate and improve the infrastructure over many years. As Richard said, 1969, I wasn't sure what year it started. The efficiencies we have received from this program and our own contributions have been very beneficial to us in the BRD to manage the current drought. The droughts are good. Some tell us this, and I hear it time and again. A drought makes you more efficient. It's good for that effect. It's hard to get through, but a drought can help. In 2001, that drought had a major effect on my area. We had to switch from flood to pivots. And over time, I remember on the board, Richard said, we have to also switch what we're doing. We have to get more pipelining done. He used Hayes. He says, let's go where it's most efficient, most economical. And we pursued that, and we've come a long ways. And with this added IRP funding, we can continue down that road and finish what we started. I would also like to acknowledge the contributions to the AIM program by the provincial government for the Dead Horse Reservoir and the projects and other projects that will provide more water security and help improve operations. Richard Phillips also said Dead Horse is a great spot for a reservoir. It's in the middle of our district, and it will help us improve our district. It'll give us some more water, possibly for expansion, and it will also save water because we have that reservoir right in a good prime location. All of this benefits our irrigators, communities, and companies in agriculture, habitat partners, and the public who can come and enjoy camping, fishing, golfing, and hunting all across our district. And the spin-off from irrigation in our district is immense. It touches so many other people. It spreads out to even the company like Cavendish and Lethbridge and the who it employs, and the benefits are pronounced. So on the behalf of the BRD, thank you, Minister Sigurdson, for recognizing the importance of agriculture and irrigation in Alberta and allowing us, the BRD, to host this event today.
So with that, my duties are complete. We're going to turn the time over to the press secretary to moderate any questions and answers.
Thank you. So that ends the formal portion of today's news conference. We now have time to take questions from media. Just a reminder to media in the room and on the phone to please state your name and outlet, and we'll be taking one question and one follow-up. I don't see anyone in the room, so we'll move to the phones, and a reminder to those on the phone to press *1 to ask a question. Operator, can you put through our first caller?
Thank you. There are no questions at the queue at this time.
And that ends today's news conference. Thank you.
Got off scot-free. Thank you, everyone, for this.